Well, we put that baby to bed. Let's do lunch. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. I do truly appreciate it. Today is one of them days. The fine folks at Suntup Editions has got 2 books in my mailbox in one day. How's that work? I do not know, but it's cool. I really dig it. Right now, I'm going to talk about one of these books, and then I'm going to talk about the other one later. But the first one I want to talk about today is first because it's a numbered edition, and it looks absolutely beautiful. You see, I've got a set of books from Suntup Editions written by an author named Thomas Harris. Ever hear of him? One is Red Dragon, one is The Silence of the Lambs, and one is called Hannibal. And these books are beautiful. In fact, I would say right now, of all the books in my collection, which one do I think is the most beautiful? The one that when I take out, I admire it, the way it looks the most. It might be Red Dragon. It is a phenomenal, beautiful book. I'm talking about it. Let me just show you for a moment why I like this thing. Check that out. Check out the spine. The beautiful slipcase. Take the book out. Look at that Japanese. Oh yeah, look at the sheen. It is so nice. I love this book. I love this edition, and I love this set. Of the 3 that I've read, I haven't read the 4th book, which I'm going to be unboxing here momentarily. But of these 3 that I've read, I actually must say that I like Silence of the Lambs the best. I know you were asking, and actually I know you weren't asking, but of those 3, I love Silence of the Lambs. Red Dragon was also very, very good. And I think all the way up until the end, that book was phenomenal. And the end of that book just didn't feel good to me, didn't feel right to me. If you're talking about the movies, the movie Manhunter, which was an adaptation of that book, very loosely adapted. But I loved the end of that movie. And then the movie Red Dragon with Ed Norton was much closer, not exact, but much closer to the book. That movie also was a little better than the end of the book. So I think the end of that one kind of hurt it for me, where Silence of the Lambs, I love the book. I love the movie. I love the Jodie Foster role, character, and all that stuff. Clarice Starling. And the book wasn't all that much different than the movie, but I feel somehow it was better. And I also found, after watching the movie first many times and reading the book, I found that it wasn't that hard for me to not picture Jodie Foster as Clarice Starling. I started to envision a character very similar to Jodie Foster, but not Jodie Foster. So that was an interesting thing for me. Sometimes it's hard to disassociate the movie actor or actress from the character in a book when you've already become very familiar with the characters. But anyway, what I'm here to talk about today is a book called Hannibal Rising by Thomas Harris. And this is the Suntup Editions numbered edition. And by all accounts, this may be the most beautiful book of the whole set. So many people consider it the weakest book of the set, but maybe the best production. Anyway, let me open this thing up and see what it looks like so we can all feast our eyes upon what the folks at Suntup Editions have designed and created for us for this final installment of the Hannibal Lecter series. I guess there won't be anything else written, anything else published. The final so far, anyway. But we opened it up right off the bat. Those of you who are familiar with the Suntup Editions, one of my absolute favorite publishers, probably the publisher that consistently makes the nicest books and titles that I typically dig, and I've got quite a few of them. So they package stuff very well too. This book is wrapped all the way around in foam on top, the sides, and the bottom. It can take a licking and keep on ticking, and that's what I want. Somebody who's going to get me books in the condition that I expect and that I want. And let me see, they come with a bookmark with artwork from the book and this one looks so good. So it features the Tom Bagshaw, a Tom Bagshaw illustration on the bookmark here, and it's a nice little addition, something that I can collect. You see here, I've got a Suntup coffee cup filled with Suntup bookmarks, and that one will ultimately end up in there in a little plastic protective sleeve. But let's move on to the book, the thing I wanted. There you go. You can see how they safely and securely pack that stuff to make sure that no matter what happens en route, that the book is going to arrive in tip-top shape, and I do truly appreciate the effort. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Now, here's a big part of what is so exciting about this particular publication. The slipcase is so beautiful. You can kind of see that sheen, see how the light glistens. Satiny, man, it looks nice. And this is a brocade, I don't know how you say it, brocade wrapped slipcase. And on the top and bottom, they started doing this for this set with Hannibal. They wrap it in cloth. And what this does is, while this is a very beautiful covering for the slipcases, if you leave the ends unprotected, they may tend to begin to fray. And I think there was some issues with that, with Red Dragon and Silence of the Lambs, though amazingly beautiful, the edges where they're exposed maybe tended to fray a little bit, causing an imperfection that some people just couldn't tolerate. So what Paul Suntup, the folks at Suntup Editions, did was they asked the slipcase maker, or they worked with a slipcase maker to come up with a solution. So in this solution, you have none of the ends exposed. So all of this material here is wrapped around and protected by cloth, which should be a little bit more durable. At least you end up with no edges exposed, but very beautiful, very nice. And it looks better in person. I've seen pictures of this thing, and I've been waiting to get it. I see I've got a Spot waiting for it. Spot's been there a little while. I've been waiting to get it home, housed where it belongs, and it is here. Let me take this out and show you the book. And the book is every bit as beautiful. They've stuck with a very, very similar design for each one, changing colors, changing some of the pictures and stuff on it. But we have here Japanese cloth bound book, and you can kind of see that sheen again. Man, it is so nice. And that's blind stamped on the cover there. And then on the end, you've got a foil stamped leather label on the end of the spine, and it looks so good. And as always, you're going to have the highest quality of bindings with the Suntup Editions books. Sewn bindings, good stuff. And check out the end papers there. French marbled end papers, and man, that looks nice. You can see, golly, it looks good. And this book is printed offset on Mohawk Via. And as I flip through to get to it, this is nice quality paper. Feel it. That's not the kind of paper you're going to get at a book bought at the Barnes & Noble. When you go through a book like this, you feel quality, you see quality. It is so nice, and I'm so glad. I feel lucky to be able to add books like this to my collection from time to time. And I sure do appreciate it. Let me see here. Okay, next let's go to the back. Typically, Suntup Edition signature pages are in the back. And if I had a better memory, I would have known that on these Thomas Harris books, the signature pages are in the front. Man, what do you expect? I'm not that good at this kind of stuff, but man, I love books that are signed. I love books that are signed by the author, and this one is indeed. Thomas Harris gave us a beautiful signature. It is also signed by Tom Bagshaw, and if I forgot to tell you, there are 350 copies of this book out in the wild now. And let's go through here and look at some of this artwork. Check this artwork out from Tom Bagshaw. He did such great work. I love the work that he did in The Silence of the Lambs. And so to see that they brought him back for this edition here made me happy. I like the work he did in Silence of the Lambs. And the work that he did in this book is also phenomenal. Flippin' phenomenal, if I may coin a phrase. But let's take a look here and see the rest of the story, the rest of the illustrations. Wow. Great work, Tom Bagshaw. Thank you for your effort. Thank you for the performance. And thank you for making these books so nice. When you can put great books, great characters, finely published, finely printed, signed in limited editions, and then you ice it, top it all off with excellent artwork, interior illustrations throughout, 5, 6 full page illustrations. It really makes it essentially about as good as it can get, in my opinion. And my Suntup Editions books are my favorite books in my collection because of the quality, and it also just so happens that they've published some of my favorite titles of old, and they've published some titles that are relatively new that I do truly love as well. So they're covering kind of all bases. Truly classic literature, modern classic, and sometimes contemporary stuff, as well as a variety of genres and such as that. So I couldn't be happier with Suntup Editions, and I definitely couldn't be happier with Hannibal Rising and my Thomas Harris numbered set. Finally complete. I can't envision a set looking really better than that. And I can think of nothing bad to say. Nothing bad at all. I'm glad that they've put so much good work into these books. I'm glad I was able to secure all 4 in the set. Truly lucky, truly fortunate. And I can also think of no more lies to tell. Thank you for your time. I do truly appreciate it. C'est la vie, baby. Doo-doo. Now, what were you saying about the price of tea in China?